Hello. Now I am going to be taking a look or review, I guess, of the monsterarts Big Chap xenomorph. This is specifically supposed to be the first xenomorph from the first Alien film in 1979, which was, interestingly enough, Sigourney Weaver's first movie role, I think. I could be wrong about that, but it's the original Alien movie is fantastic, and I love it to death. But so is Alien 2 and 3. Honestly, hot take, Alien 3 is quite good. But this isn't about the films. This is about this dude. He is pretty damn cool. So, first things first, before I actually get into him, I have gotten two copies of him. And this one and the other one both had their jaws and mouth broken out of the box. This one is glued in place. And the other one, the jaw is attached by, there are two holes inside of the head that have two little pegs going into them. On this one of them was broken. The one on this side was busted when I took him out of the packaging. And on the other one, both of them were broken. So I don't know if that's because of age or this figure, the two copies I just had were bad luck. But getting into it, obviously, mouth does not open. It is glued in place again. And the spike on the shoulder, or elbow, I mean, is snapped off. And I initially thought this was die-cast metal. No, it is just plastic. The joint itself is metal, and the knees as well, and the tip of his tail are all die-cast metal. But, again, this is snapped off. This one is okay. And it annoys me, but, shit happens, I guess. Fuck. But getting into the figure himself, head is pretty limited. Actually, sculpting and painting first. The dry brushing silvery paint is beautifully done. The sculpting is fantastic. It's one of the better xenomorphs I've seen, besides the NECA Big Chap 40th Anniversary Edition. Getting into the head first this time instead of the feet, I love being able to see the skull inside of there very easily, because it's just extra fucking creepy. Like, he looks like a fucked up astronaut, but I love this design to death, and he looks pretty damn cool. Now getting into the actual movement of his head, side to side, decently well. It's not the best. God, that sounds horrible, but I'll show you why in a second. Down very far, up very far. And really quickly, before I pop his head off, this part above his rib cage, it has its own movement. A little bit, but it has its own movement from the rest of the body. It doesn't have side to side, just back and forth. Now, taking the head off, showing you why it's making those funny sounds, is that fucking thing. That is such a weird joint, but it's designed like that for the mini-me mouth, which I have taken out of this head. And, this is a separate piece, but I'm not taking it off fully because I want to put this back together right now. Okay, it's on there. Now, getting into his head fully, side to side, but it's limited because of that joint inside of the neck. Down, not a lot of up. His arms can do a full T-pose perfectly fine, and they swivel in place. Straight down, straight out. You can it's mostly just the shape of his body, but you can get it up just fine. And his elbows are double jointed and can bend fully up. That seems to be the limit of it, I guess. Hands are swiveling, and mostly the back movement is there, but not a lot of downward towards the palm. Getting to his stomach, this is the rib cage moves independently, side to side tilt, back and forth, and if I allow the whole movement of it, he can get an incredibly deep crunch. Very honestly, it's quite good. I really do like this guy, but the mouth was fucked, and this shoulder, or elbow spike, I mean, was fucked out of the box. And I think he released in 2014, 2015, and it could mostly just be the age of the figure, but I really don't know. Legs, well, back to the body first. He can spin pretty damn good, really damn good. But I don't like to do that because I don't want to risk snapping or breaking anything else. That's supposed to happen, but it shouldn't have. Not during this video's recording. Getting down to the legs, limited splits, limited tilting in and out, can kick back pretty damn good, and forward pretty damn good. The knee joint is die-cast metal, so hopefully it should hold very, very well, which so far it has. That seems to be the extent of the knee bend, but I'm not sure, and I'm not going to push it any further than I think is necessary, because I don't want to break any more of this dude. Getting down to the feet, they're well done. The feet are actually done in quite an interesting way that I surprisingly like quite a lot. It's done very differently than Figma. So the foot is on a ball joint inside of the heel, or the rest of the foot itself. The toes are on a ball joint. So just pop that back in. And he has an upwards bend, very far upwards bend. The down is not really there, but it can twist and no, it can't. I just lied. Okay, never mind. Ignore what I said. That is stupid of me. But the ankle itself, no back movement really, but a little bit of forward. And yeah, pretty good rock. I like it, actually. It's pretty alright. The tail is not bendy wire. It is all individual segments that do not hold their position very well at all. Like, see, it's just, yeah, it's like a limp, wet noodle. The end of the tail is die-cast metal, so it is sharp and pointy. And the spike can, the spike can twist inside of the tail. These tubes can be removed as they are all on ball joints. See? They aren't glued in place like the NECA. They are on ball joints and can flex and move a little bit. They're also soft rubber, so that's just more protection. This moves up and down. On the NECA figure, I did not mention it in the video because I didn't know, but on the NECA figure, this can be pulled out and removed and put back in. It's a simple plug-in socket. But here, it just moves up and down. And despite the mouth being broken, this being snapped off on both of my figures, I still really like this dude. He's a pretty damned good xenomorph to have if you are a collector. I'm not a big collector, but I'm still going to get figures and toys of franchises I really like. And I think that does it. He's a good figure, but he's not my least favorite. He's quite decent for what he is. It retails at $50 on Big Bad Toy Store. And when I got this dude initially and told them that his mouse is broken, they sent me a free copy. But unfortunately, it has the same mouth issue. But, oh, before I leave, or stop this video, the box and his stand as well comes with a big, chunky window box that is quite beautifully well done. SH Monster Arts logo, Bandai, 20th Century Fox, Tamashii Nations logo. A little text blurb on the side with a picture of him where the dome is oddly darker than the actual figure. That could just be a promo shot, but I'm not sure. With some with some posing on the back and text blurbs explaining the figure in Japanese and English. Nothing on this side besides some really good artwork. The logo again. And he comes with this packaging. His tail goes in here. The figure himself goes in here. There's his stand in two separate parts with a claw grip for his belly and the actual base itself. And this basically plastic coffin has this part that lays on top of it and snaps in place to keep everything still. But anyways, I think that's it for the SH monsterarts xenomorph. He is quite good, and despite the issues, I love the sculpting and painting and the articulation. The articulation is great. But I give him an easy 8 out of 10. It would be a 9 out of 10 without the problems I got on my 2 copies, but that's just me. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope I convince you to get one, because, again, this is not a bad figure whatsoever. He's just, my personal experience with him has not been the best. But despite that, I still really enjoy this figure. He is quite nice and looks beautiful. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video.